Cultural values. Now, the native plants, included with their pollinators and all the flora and fauna, all had value to the indigenous community. And those values were appreciated because of a different understanding. And what I want to explain to you is some of the understanding that was provided to myself from our chief and spiritual leader, Ernie P. Salas Teutimez. This understanding has allowed me as a biologist to be able to provide a different explanation of why these plants, animals, and all the biodiversity that we have been provided, why it's necessary, why we need to continue their survival, because we are connected to their survival. And here's one thing that my uncle always told us, and here's a quote directly from him. He always told me, he's all, Matthew, we are not superior to the plants and animals because they too were given the breath of life. And that reality lends us to understand that the plants and animals have purpose from our Creator. And this purpose is actually understood through our origin story. In our origin story, in the origin story of the LA Basin, the plants and animals were placed on this earth prior to humans. And in the sequence of when things are born or when things are placed on this earth, if something's placed before you, it's older than you. It's your elder. And from my uncle's teachings, he explained that the plants and animals were our elders. And elders are meant to teach you. You're meant to learn from them. So native plants and the animals that depend on them, because they're considered our elders, that they should be treated with honor and with respect, garnering appreciation that because of the provisions that they provide. My uncle has always said that the gifts that we receive, they're gifts of our Creator, gifts from Mother Earth that are meant to provide for us. And in those provisions, one of those plants, let me just tell you a quick story about willow. Now, willow was a very important tree in the LA Basin. Very important because it's what provided the house for the Kizh people. Kizh is actually another name for the willow and tule houses that existed within Southern California. And that willow was actually also the symbol for the women here, because willow bends but never breaks. And that strength was essential to being able to build a dome-style home. That dome, being in geometry, the strongest structure you can create, allowed for these dome-style homes to exist and for other nations, other indigenous nations, to recognize this area as the place of the Kizh, the place of these willow and tule houses. Now, here's another way that willow is trying to explain value to us. But this goes into the scientific realm. Now, follow me if you will. Willow comes from the genus Salix. Now, Salix is a genus that provides a lot of essential compounds that you're going to find today in many products, from makeup to medicine to facial cream to cleansers. Why? Because willow is the base source of salicylic acid. And if you look at the active ingredient in aspirin, the active ingredient in wart remover, the active ingredient in face cleanser, all of it derives from salicylic acid. But check this out. Our body does not recognize salicin by itself, because that's the compound that you derive if you were to chew on some willow or you make a tea out of it. The compound that's going to be in that tea is salicin. But our body doesn't recognize it. So how do we get any benefits? Well, check this out. Do you know that you have little critters that live inside your body, little things that have a separate genome, a separate life cycle than you. And today we call those things probiotics. These are bacteria and yeast that live within inside our bodies, in our gut, to help metabolize and to help break down all of our foods. Well, check this out. When salicin enters our body doesn't recognize it. So it would just be flushed out in our waste products. But these little probiotics do recognize it, and they then take that salicin, repackage it into saligonin. Then our body's like, whoa, I know what that is. And our body takes the saligonin, then processes it through our liver, and processes it into acetyl salicylic acid. And that reality of the necessary relationship that we need with a whole different critter in order to get benefits. And that's one thing that Willow's trying to teach us, is that without relationships, you don't get benefits. And that's a life lesson that all of us need to understand, that's being processed every day through Willow, if we would just pay attention. And those are the elders speaking to us. And not only through that relationship, but just through the spiritual pathways and the connections that can be provided with our Creator from these items that have also been given the breath of life, helps to reconnect us to the true source of the value of our earth. And so native plants not only provide us with this medicine, with this food, with wisdom, but they provided a robust life here in the Los Angeles basin and all around the world from the native components. That's how life has been sustained for thousands and thousands of years, is because of the gifts provided through the native plants and their pollinators. So when we are able to now institute a native landscape, you also are instituting a whole slew of other benefits, whether it be actual physical benefits from the food and the medicine, or the spiritual benefits from the learning and knowledge and connection to that one that gave the breath of life.